there's one thing in particular I need to ask you about. What the heck is wrong with Brashaud Breeland? Well, what's going on here?
That's the $64,000 question right now.
Yeah. What do we have here?
Well, it's not uncommon for players to get kicked out of practice for fighting. That's somewhat standard.
Sure.
But what was not standard is this happened during a walkthrough. So this was not during the...
It's not like there was contact.
Right. This was not...
Stuff.
Yeah. This was just during the walkthrough phase, and so it bears the question, okay, why are you hand checking the guy, the receiver in front of you? Why are you jamming him on a walkthrough? So...
Who did he get into it with? Do we know?
He jammed Terrell Pryor pretty hard. And Pryor obviously voiced his displeasure. And at some point, some other players began to kind of talk to Brashaud. And the coach, his position coach, began to talk to him. And Brashaud reacted just in a very
just went off
bad way. Yeah. And at that point, Gruden could be heard saying, "Look, get me another corner. Just get me another corner," and told Brashaud to leave. Now, he came back at the last part of practice, the actual live practice, and was fine. The biggest thing that I can say is that right now, Brashaud Breeland has built this wall around himself. Like, it's me against the world.
Yeah.
And when you do that in anything in life, football, any sort of walk of life, you tend to be very defensive. You tend to be very, I don't know.
Paranoid.
Almost paranoid. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Any kind of a scratch.
You're off. Yeah.
You're off and running. And right now, Brashaud Breeland's got to get out of his own head. Mm-hmm. He really does.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, obviously the disciplinary thing is one thing, but let's talk about his camp performance. When you read what the scouts are saying, the guy's not doing well in camp either.
Well, it's okay. I agree that what we are seeing, when you see the little clips on Twitter or Instagram,
sure,
they're highlight type clips, and he's getting posterized. That probably just adds to the frustration.
Yeah.
I do remember one play in particular last week that was put up on Twitter. The one-handed catch by, it was a catch by Ryan Grant.
Okay.
And if you know how we feel about Ryan Grant, it was such a shock to see him make that catch. But what I was more interested in is Brashaud Breeland's body language. And he dropped his head immediately after the catch and just looked like a guy that was like, oh boy, here we go again. Mm-hmm. And I think right now Brashaud Breeland is sort of in a no man's land. One of the worst things you can have as a cornerback is a memory. Mm-hmm. You've got to have a short memory as a corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to get beaten.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. You got to forget about it, and you got to get to the next play.
Yep.
It's going to happen. It happens to everybody. Every Hall of Fame corner that is in there right now got beat at some point.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's true.
And you have to be able to absorb it and move on and learn from it. And right now, Brashaud Breeland is just in a very unhappy no man's land.
Yeah.
What you don't see in camp are the good plays he makes.
Yeah.
And that's what's tough.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure what eats on him is hearing about, hey, man, I saw you got posterized today by so-and-so. Oh, yeah. I saw you got your lunch ate for you, there in practice today. What you don't see, and every now and again little blurbs will get put up, you'll see him defending a slant perfectly. You'll see him knocking away an out pattern. But nobody really talks about that part of it. But it's going to be very interesting going forward how this plays out.
Yeah.
It really, really is. A lot of people, and I'm one of them, feel like he did not handle the Josh Norman signing well at all.
Yeah.
I think he had a higher opinion of himself than obviously the Redskins did, and I don't think he's really gotten over that.
Yeah.
And I think so much of that is up here. That's why I say he's got to get out of his own head.
Yeah. Just go out there and play.
If he wants to get where he wants to go, he's got to put all this stuff behind him, figure out a way to get to a square one and start over. Because this guy has talent.
Oh, definitely.
But you watch him, sometimes he's guessing, sometimes he's not turning around and looking for the football, and then other times he plays it right. But going forward, it'll be very interesting to see how this works out.
Okay. All right.
It's something that's definitely worth watching.
Yeah.